Hi guys, and welcome to the Undertaking of Hart and Mercy review. So the book, I'm going to start with what it's about. So there is a mystical world that is a Western type of environment where there's zombies and there's anteaters, or like we ride anteaters kind of mixed with Appa looking things and hunt zombies. And there's undertakers that take the bodies of said zombies and like give them a proper burial because like that's the way. Or no, it's the zombies that can't have a proper burial. That's what I recall. Sorry, you see, there's gonna be moments where I correct myself because again, it's been a couple months. So people have to have like a proper burial or they turn into zombies, or there's a chance they can turn into zombies, or if they die in the wastelands they can turn into zombies. You can turn into a zombie pretty easily in this world from what I recall. You have Hart the bounty hunter, he kills zombies. You have Mercy the undertaker, takes care of the bodies. And when you first you pick up the book and you're reading it and you're like the back and you're like, oh shit, this sounds good. This is actually something I'm vibing with. I want a kind of romance where maybe they're like enemies turn to co-workers, turn to lovers, or maybe even like forced proximity romance, because I love those. But no, it's not. It's far from it. And it leaves much to be desired. I will say, if you ever hear me stutter or you find me correcting myself with the way that I'm talking, it's because sometimes I can't convey what I'm trying to say the first time going, but I will take the moment and try to reword it to make more sense. I promise I'm just not good with words. It is not because I don't know the words, I'm just not very good at saying them in the time that I need to say them. Going back to the book though. When I first started the book, I did the audiobook as well. The voice actors for it are amazing. Again, I am in love with the voice acting that these audiobooks really, push for. So again, Mercy's voice actor, Hart's voice actor, the family member, great. Fantastic. Going back. Hart won me over because he was the gruff, he reminded me of that guy from The Last of Us. And then, do you know, what was it? Oh god, I cry about him all the time. He's dead, and like, he's a video game character, but he's dead. But he's not dead to me, because I haven't ever played the game, nor am I letting my partner finish the game to that point to where he dies. So for me, he's always alive.
Arthur Morgan.
Arthur Morgan. Oh, he's my husband. That's the kind of vibe that I get when I read Hart. And like the gruff, he won me over. Great thing, misunderstood. I was like, yes, I need Arthur Morgan, because then if I can picture myself as the love interest and be like, yes, I am the female lead. I am now having a relationship with Arthur Morgan. What do you mean your name is Hart? No, it's Arthur Morgan. But then you have Mercy, and she's that strong-headed, firstborn who's trying to take care of her family, and people are pushing her their ideals onto her, and I'm like, yeah, you know what, I fuck with this, because I'm an older sibling, and having these expectation pushed on you, like, yeah, it gets kind of frustrating, it gets kind of overwhelming. So seeing her being like that, and I'm like, yes, you know what, I can vibe, I can put myself in this character. I don't mean to do that in all the books that I read. It's just certain books I'm just like, yes, I want to have a situationship with Arthur Morgan. Again, what do you mean his name's Hart? So that's the premise that I went in reading this book. And I was like having high hopes and audiobooks and just great premise. I really do appreciate the fact that there is like LGBTQ characters in this, and they're like with personalities. And let me explain. In a lot of the media that I take in, whether it's TikTok for you pages, whether it is books, whether it is online, whatever, they always use the LGBTQ character. That is like their whole personality. It is just, they are gay. And then there is no other like embellishments about like what they like, about what they're into besides they are gay. It's the same thing that they do when it's like someone's autistic and that is all they are in the show, in the book, is they are just autistic. But it's like, okay, but other than that, like, let me know more about them. In this book, they do just that. They're not just the gay characters. They're the sister, the brother. They are the one that is taking up this job because they are not making enough money. They are the mentor that might have been a bit mentally abusive to one of them. Like, there is personality. There is so much more depth in these characters, these side characters, than I felt like they were for the main characters. And I will get to the point in a bit. So they are writing letters. Like, I don't quite recall why they started writing these letters. I do believe it was Mercy who was like, I'm so fucking lonely. I am going to write this letter just to the world. Or not even to the world. I think the character that picked up her letter was just like, well, I just saw a letter. I just kind of assumed you wanted it mailed. And so I just took it to where it belonged. And it like got sent to Hart. Yet, it's not like signed to anyone. It's not like, oh, this is Mercy, right back, XOXO. So basically whatever how it started, maybe I'm not getting it quite right, but I do recall that it was Mercy who started writing these letters. They start going back and forth, Hart and Mercy, and they are being very true with their feelings. They are being very vulnerable with how they are, but very vague in what they do career-wise, vague about certain aspects about themselves, and they become very vulnerable, and like it's almost like young love again, you know? Mercy is like, someone understands me. I'm not just an older sibling to this person. I am me. I am my own person. And Hart is just like, someone doesn't see me as this gruff person. Someone sees me as me, and like they understand that I might be rough around the corners, but it's still me. Like, it's still, you know, it's kind of that person of just like, I bite, I don't know why I bite. And Mercy is like, I want to be cherished and treated like glass, but I have to be strong like diamond just to survive. My puppy is right here and really wants to be into this like book review. Hello. Anyways, but going back to the book review. So again, why are you licking my camera? Don't do that. Don't do, you're so naughty. Going back to the book review. So again, great premise, and then they decide to meet. And that is where I put the book down. It wasn't when they met, but it was the secondhand embarrassment of the things that were leading up to this meeting, to the point where I'm just like, I can't continue this book. So I put it down. I just couldn't bring myself to read it, like finish it after that point. And this was like almost in the middle of the book. An ex-love interest of Mercy shows up, and she's kind of mean to him, and that's not the embarrassing part. It was the fact that she was kind of considering giving him a second chance, you know? There's the way that it's talked about, it is very like, girl, no, like, I can't do this. I put the book down. Oh, sorry. I put the book down, and I literally went and finished, what is the book called? Like, the Morning Glory Milking Farm? That was a fantastic book. I'll talk about it at a different time. Anyways, but I literally finished a whole other book and then went finally back to this book because I'm like, okay, let me at least finish that. Like, let me give it a second try. I can do this. Maybe my secondhand embarrassment will go away. Well, I pushed through it and I didn't like it. And this is when we're going to go into spoilers. The vulnerability that these characters have, and you think, oh my god, this is finally the time they're going to be like nice to each other, because they were kind of nice to each other leading up to this, because, you know, they were just happy-go-lucky. They were kind of falling in love. They just didn't know who it was on the other side. But then again, they were going to meet at a diner. That was like the setup. Like, the festival was happening, they were going to meet at a diner, and like Hart walks in, notices Mercy, notices it, he's like, okay, that's her, realizes everything is her, but he's like, you know what, I'm gonna give this a chance. I'm gonna try, but I'm gonna be very grumpy about it, but I'm gonna try, because there's that vulnerability, because he recalled the vulnerability that they felt in those letters, and then he goes to sit down at the table, and she's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Get the fuck out, because I'm meeting someone, and I felt that in my heart. And I was like, girl, no, you were being nicer to your ex who was being a total asshole than you are to this guy, that you only got mad about him because there was a misunderstanding, and like your dog likes him, and like that should be an obvious thing that he's a good person if your dog likes him, because dogs can tell when there's an asshole. Anyway, and then like the same day, they like hook up. I'm pretty sure like they hook up during the festival. Yeah. So it's like, fuck you, but also later in the night, they like hook up. And then that's kind of like all they do is like hook up for a little bit. Like there's kind of, it's, you know, and they don't really want to reveal the relationship. I knew that was like, when they don't want to reveal the relationship, either side, it's always, it doesn't go well. And that's not my problem with the book. It had like, okay, I thought, okay, it's building up. It's building up. Things are happening. Events are happening. There's like a big bad happening. Corporations are trying to take out the small little undertaking place. Like, things are happening, and then everything gets rushed in the last few chapters. To the point where I don't even recall what the big bad thing was. I just know that Hart dies, but it's like, psych, you're actually not dead because you are demigod, because demigods were like common in this world. It's like mentioned in the beginning, and like it's kind of hinted he already knows he's a demigod. He's just kind of like, nah, I'm not dealing with that right now, because that brings up trauma, because like his mom was like a single mom. And again, little snippets that you're kind of told throughout the book. It was just the end that it just felt so, all this built up, and it fell flat. He dies, and he meets his father, and it's just like, yeah, you're a demigod, but like, you died, GG's, get good. Since you're a demigod, you can die once for like a freebie, but then like when I send you back, like you can't, like, you'll die, like that's normal death. But like, yeah, I loved your mom. Anyways, see ya. And like, that was all of it. That was the whole conclusion for his storyline. Mercy's was, I feel, more fleshed out. You know, she got her family to understand that she did want to be an undertaker. She wanted to take over her father's business, and was like heartbroken because it's supposed to be like a male-led industry, and she's like, I want to do it. I'm a woman. I can do it. And the dad was like, kind of like, I don't think so. But later on, he's like, you know what? I believe in you. Your brother doesn't want to take it over. He wants to go be with his boyfriend. I will leave this to you because of how passionate you are. And also because Hart believes in you, because he like talked her up to the dad. And then she gets that. She becomes her undertaker. The other people lose like contracts because they were doing like shady stuff. They were using like wood that was like zombie infested. It was a whole thing. Like, there's a whole thing that is talked about in the book. And again, the plot felt, this is why I don't even recall full of like what the main plot development thing was. I just know like the ex-boyfriend was involved. In the end, all I know is I kind of felt bad that Hart ended up with the main character, or like Mercy. I felt like she really got everything out of it, and she, I don't know, because she preaches about second chances, and like she wanted to give even her ex-boyfriend a second chance, and then like doesn't even give Hart the time of day at some points. But like she wants the grace of him giving her a second chance. It was like a whole headache. I don't know. I want an ending where it feels like both sides of the relationship, regardless of gender, is getting like their fair share of a happy ending. But this one did not feel like that. It felt like one side got more than the other, and like the other one got like kind of pushes. And maybe that's, I don't know. Now that I'm recalling it, maybe I'm being too critical about it. I don't think so. I do remember just ending the book and just feeling like, well, that was that wasn't the greatest book ever. Like, that was just so anticlimactic. I I think I would have been happier if they just both learned to love themselves and the aspects that they were in their lives, whether it was like taking over a business or like coming to accept that his past is fucked up and filled with trauma, but learning to love himself more, you know, with this second chance at life. I feel like there would have been a lot more growth with these characters if they just had that, but I feel it just. I think I would have been happier if either like Hart just died and he got to spend the afterlife with his mom and his dad and learning to love himself as a demigod in the afterlife without needing Mercy there. And I really thought maybe Mercy would have grown as a person and like really grown into like that confidence that it seemed like she lacked really speaking up for herself. If she didn't have Hart, like she had Hart's last words where he believed in her and she used that as like a motivation device to deal with all of her things. I feel like separate with their own motivational words to each other separately, they would have both thrived. They would have both thrived, and yet the ending was they were together, and I was reading a romance book and I was kind of upset they ended up together, that was the whole point, is that they end up together because it's a romance book. But now I was just like, maybe it's like it's the friends that we made along the way. Maybe we should have stayed friends. Maybe like the messing around was good, like the hookups were like a nice spice to add to a romance, but like maybe not ending up with each other. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too critical. I always feel like I'm being too critical with books. I just know that when I finished it, I was just like, you know, that's not my favorite book. It was not even my top 10 or 20. I don't think I'm going to pick up this author again. It really threw me off, this author's books, and I feel so guilty about it. Even talking about it now, I'm like looking at my partner, I'm like, I do feel bad I'll never pick up this author's book again. But I feel that about certain authors. I read maybe half of their book and I'm like, never again am I picking up this author. There's a specific author that comes to mind that I'm looking at my partner and he's like, yes, never again reading her book. Oh shit, I gave it away. It's a girl. I can't. There is something, you know, I just can't read her. I just hate that she got that contract for this certain book series. I was so excited to read. I'm so upset. She got the contract for this one book that released. I think it released already. My bookstore didn't get the book. I'm really happy. I didn't want to see it. It's so hard to get rid of this author's books in the bookstore. We have like 72 copies of one of her books. We can't sell it. Like, we put it at 50% off. We put it at 75% off. No one wants it. It's so bad. So, like, I'm so glad we didn't get a single one of her book. If we did, fuck, I hope it's sold. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just the way that she writes is like, and there was a mirror, and then the person stared at the mirror. She was staring at the mirror when she had the thought while staring at the mirror. It's like that kind of writing where they repeat itself for like in the same sentence over and over again. Or like, she looked at the ground, in the ground that she was staring at. Like, it's like something like that. Like, that's the way I can describe it without giving away exactly who the writer is. That's how I feel about this book. I feel bad. But I this is my last book for this author. I'm so sorry. Unless something fantastic comes up of like new premise, I don't know. Maybe, oh my god, if she did a POV that it's fully in like the prequel of Heart and Mercy, where it's like the mom and the like the god getting together, like that romance, I'm into that. Give me that. Maybe make that longer than a book. Maybe make that longer than 400 pages. Flesh it out a lot more. Like, make it like a sad ending. Like, where it's like a what is it called? It's like, bittersweet ending. Give me that. Ooh, I like that. Don't give me like, they're together and it fixed everything. I don't want that. It didn't fix everything. Someone got the short end of the stick and it made it seem like this is what he wanted the whole time. Like, I don't know, man. even her. I mean, like, I want her to be more independent. She don't need no man. Just like he don't need no women. Like, let them be independent on themselves and, like, build up a relationship later. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'm so upset. Anyways, 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5. And have you guys read this book? Maybe I'm having, like, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me and my partner. Because my partner also read this and he had the same Les had the same opinions when it came to this, and I was like, okay, so I'm not fucking crazy, because I told Les, I'm like, hey, read it. I'm not gonna talk about it with you until after you read it, and I need to know your review. Heard his review, and I'm like, fuck, at least I wasn't the only one. I felt that too, and we went off about it, and I was like, man, I can't read this author anymore, and he's like, yeah, me neither. Anyways, have you read this book? Is it the same kind of review, or do you feel like it actually was perfect? You can comment below if you believe that. And I just really want to hear different perspectives of it. I have an open mind. Maybe I need to reread it. I don't know. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy that. I'll see you guys in my next book review. I haven't decided which book review I'm going to do for it again. I might be re-recording old book reviews that I did just because I have the new model. It looks so pretty. Thank you, thank you. And so I'm really excited to, like, really use it and, like, anyways, I'll see you guys in my next one, in my next video or post. I'm tired. Bye.